I've never shaved before, yet every time my beard grows, it disappears. Hello guys, my name is Adam, and I'm going to share with you this weird story about my beard and how every time it grows, it suddenly disappears. So, a bit about myself. I'm 14, and I have a girlfriend called Samantha, whom I really love. My mum passed away when I was 3 because of cancer, and this experience was very traumatic for me and my dad. I'm only a child, so it's just me and him now. But somehow we managed to survive and go on with our lives, despite the bitterness of losing my mum. Anyway, while hitting puberty, I started to notice how my body is changing. I could see my arms growing taller and my voice getting thicker. I also started to feel more attracted to my girlfriend. But what I really love is that I'm slowly growing a beard. I find it attractive and a sign of manhood. Anyway, the first time I saw that I was growing a beard, there were only a few hairs, not something massive, but I could see them and count them. I went to bed that night really satisfied with myself, proud of my hormones, feeling all sexy all of a sudden and thinking how I'm going to show them off tomorrow to Samantha. I bet she'd love it and think I was hot now. I woke up the next day, so excited, I went to the bathroom and I looked in the mirror like I always do, focusing on the details of my face, comparing my past innocent features with the new adult face I'm starting to have. But then I noticed something really weird. The hairs I counted yesterday totally disappeared. It was really strange. I tried to remember if I shaved yesterday. Nope, I'm 100% sure I never shaved. Can't be wrong. I mean, I would remember my first time shaving, for God's sake. Maybe I was just imagining yesterday and was full of myself and there was no beard at all. I decided not to give it much attention, but I told myself the next time I see those hairs, I'm going to take a picture of myself just so I could have proof. Another week passed, and again, before going to bed, I looked at myself in the mirror and there they are, my babies. The number of hairs doubled and even got denser. I took my phone and snapped a picture of myself, feeling great. The next day, it happened again. My beard is not there. Who the hell misses their beard? Am I going nuts? What in the world is happening? I took my phone to make sure the picture was still there. Yep, the photo's right there. My beard is in the picture. But where is it now? Something odd is happening. I started to think maybe there's something wrong with my skin or my hormones. I decided to skip school that day and went to the doctor instead. I asked to check up on my hormones and skin because I feel that my hair is falling out. The doctor told me to relax, and he did all the checkups, and he said everything was just fine, my hormones are good, and there's nothing wrong with my skin. He said if I have any hair falling off, it might be because I'm stressed and that I should relax. I was confused. I didn't know what to do. What if I'll never have a beard in my life? This needs an investigation, and I know who can help me with this. My partner in crime, Samantha. She started laughing when she heard my story, but I told her that I was really serious about this issue. So she started to think with me. She started checking my face for signs, checking my neck and chin. Then she gave me that smile she always has when she figures something out and said, "You're not going crazy, Adam. Your beard is not just disappearing. It was shaved. You have a small cut on your chin from the razor blade." "I already told you before I did not shave," I said, disappointed. "I believe you," she said, "and I'm not accusing you of lying. I'm just saying that it was shaved. Maybe not by you, but it was definitely shaved." Her words hit me, and I tried to think of how that might have happened. I mean, I'm a very heavy sleeper, I know that. I rarely feel anything around me when I'm asleep. But how can I not feel that my beard is being shaved? It's very weird. What happens when I go to bed? The thing is, there is no one in the house except for my dad, but I'm sure that he would never do anything like that. Why would any dad do that for his sleeping son? I concluded that I needed to stay awake in order to see what happens in those small hours of the night. The same night I stayed awake. I was almost falling asleep when I heard a sound of someone coming into my room. It was my dad. I pretended I was asleep, and I felt him approaching me, slowly touching my face, and I could feel the razor blade shaving my beard. I was shocked. I shouted. I saw my dad, confused. He was sure I was asleep. He started muttering words like, "Oh, go back to sleep, it's nothing." I told him that I know he's been shaving my beard for a while now, and I demanded an explanation. Embarrassed, my father sat on the bed and started talking. He said it's been really hard for him seeing me grow up and becoming a man all of a sudden. He said that my mother's death has been really hard on him and that he wanted to stay attached to anything that reminded him of her. That thing was me. And I just couldn't help myself. I was so shocked that I yelled in his face, "Dad, you're a creep! You just creep me out!" My dad looked sad, but continued by saying that he's afraid that I will leave him too, and that's the reason why he didn't want me to realise that I'm becoming an adult. That he couldn't control my changing voice, my arms, but the beard was too much for him. "Well, maybe I should leave," I yelled at him. While listening to him saying all of this, I remembered other unreasonable stuff that my dad was doing, like holding my hand when I crossed the streets or leaving my door open at night with a small lamp. That I remembered how he refused the idea that I was seeing Samantha. It all did not make sense to me at that moment. I started thinking about what other creepy things he might do to me while I'm asleep. I mean, who does crazy things like that? I started considering moving out. Should I get out of this house as soon as possible, far away from him? All these thoughts crossed my mind at once, and I couldn't say anything. I just sat there thinking about all this nonsense. 2 days passed, and I haven't spoken a word with him. I just ignored the fact that he existed. I couldn't go anywhere because who would ever believe my story? And if they did believe me, what would they think of me? Or of my dad? I was embarrassed and scared. A week has passed, and to be honest, I started missing him. My beard got thicker, and my anger slowly got slighter. I could see that he was having a really hard time. It might even be a breakdown. I know it might sound weird and even creepy, and I thought so too, but now that my thoughts have cleared, I thought deeply about what he told me, and surprisingly, I understood him. I couldn't be mad at him anymore. I know my dad is not crazy, he just didn't know how to handle this in the right way. So, after this roller coaster of a week has passed, I approached him. I told him that he could have talked to me about it, and the fact that I'm not a kid anymore does not mean that I'm going to abandon him. I suggested him seeing another woman to start a relationship with someone he liked, and I assured him that we could fix this situation, even by seeking professional help, if that's what it takes, and that I am willing to attend the therapy sessions with him in case he wanted me to. My dad hugged me tight, promised he would never risk losing me like that ever again, and even apologised. I looked at his teary eyes and told him that it will all be fine, as long as all these creepy things would stop. A few months later, Samantha, my dad, and I, with my sexy beard, of course, were sitting on our porch and having a great time. He started dating my teacher, Kelly, which is wonderful because I've always liked her. Sometimes we get so busy in our lives that we miss important signs that indicate someone around us is in trouble. So, keep your eyes and ears open, guys, and never be ashamed or afraid to seek or offer help.